In the last video, we saw how to add rows to a data frame. Now, we will see how to add columns to the data frame. So we will have a data frame something like this. It will have some columns already inside it, and then we will add another column to this data frame. So the point to remember is that when we are going to add columns, now we should add columns so that all the rows of the data frame get data which is already there in the data frame. So this is to be taken care of. So let's see how to do it. Now while adding columns, we can add columns which contain just data, or we can add columns which are computed, or we can also add columns computing them based on certain conditions. So we will see all of this in this video. Just like we used rbind function to add rows, R provides a function called cbind for adding columns. So let us see how to use cbind to add columns in a data frame. So the syntax is like this. We say cbind, and within brackets we give the original data frame, comma, the new column name equals to a vector of values. The vector of values should contain the number of values which is already there in the data frame in terms of number of rows available in the data frame presently. Now there are other techniques for adding columns also, we will see that, but cbinds is a function which provides this facility readily. Let's see an example. So we have our data frame called v_marks. To this data frame we will add a column. So we have to give to the cbind, the first parameter is v_marks, that is the original data frame. Then we will say that we want to add a column called sp. Let's say sp is a marks in Shiny programming. So we will say sp equals to a vector. The vector should contain the number of values which is equal to the number of rows in the data frame presently. So when we say cbinds v_marks, comma, sp is equal to v_marks sp, and assign this value to the data frame v_marks, the data frame will contain a new column called sp, and that column will contain the values as given in the vector v_marks sp. Now let's head to RStudio and see this in action. So here we are in RStudio. First let's create our data frame. We are familiar with all this, so we will just create the data frame. Now you see that our data frame is created. It has got 9 rows and there are 6 columns: name, roll number, company, CA, DA, RP, that is marks in computer architecture, data analysis and R programming. Now we add another vector. This is the marks in Shiny programming, let's say, for the 9 people. So there are 9 values here. If we give less than 9 values, then the remaining rows will have no value. They will be not available. So I just create this vector, and now I issue the cbind function to add the column. So I can say cbind v_marks, which is our data frame, and I add a new column called sp where I give the vector which contains the marks in Shiny programming, and I assign this whole thing to v_marks. So let's run this. So when we run this, it runs properly. And now if I see v_marks data frame, you notice that there is an additional column called sp which contains the marks in Shiny programming. Now I could have added a new column in a different way also. Let's say we want to add a column called total, where it contains the total marks in all the subjects. So I can say v_marks $, and I name a new column called total, and I assign this to v_marks $CA plus v_marks $DA plus v_marks $RP plus v_marks $SP. So if I do this, this will also create a new column called total, and this column will be a computed column where it will contain the total of the marks in CA, DA, RP and SP columns. So let's do this. If we do this, let's run this command first. Let's run it. So it has run. Now let us see our data frame. So the data frame now looks like this, where we have the total column. So you can notice that we created a new column called total. Further, we could have also used cbind for creating a computed column. Let's do that. So if I say v underscore marks and I assign this to cbind v underscore marks, comma, let's say we add a column called percentage. Percentage is equal to v underscore marks dollar total divided by 400 into 100. So now you see this percentage is a computed column, but I'm using cbinds to add this column to the data frame v underscore marks. So let's run this. So I run this, it runs. Now if I inspect my data frame v underscore marks, you see that I have also got a computed column called percentage, which contains the percentage of marks across all the subjects for all the students. Now, it is also possible that I can create a column based on certain conditions. Let's say I want to create a column called grade. So I say v underscore marks dollar grade, but the grade should be such that, so let's say that grade is A if percentage is greater than 80%, and it is B if percentage is between 60 and 80, and it is C if percentage is between 50 and 60, otherwise it is D. So let's put this condition. So now I can say that v underscore marks grade. So I can say if else, I can use the structure if else. I say v underscore marks dollar percentage is greater than 80. If it is true, then I say you assign the grade A. If it is false, I give another if else and I say v underscore marks dollar percentage is greater than 60. In that case, I assign the grade as B. If this is false, I give another if else and I say v underscore marks dollar percentage is greater than 50. In that case, I assign the grade as C. Otherwise, I assign the grade as D. So this is my if condition. So if I run this command now, I should create a column called grade. So I run this command, the command has run. Now if I inspect my data frame, you notice that I have got a column called grade and the grades have been assigned as per the percentages that we have set.